We've got sunshine, a stunning seascape and the best beach driving in Australia. Welcome to South Australia's Eyre Peninsula. We're here to discover what this region has to offer the off-road driver. Port Lincoln at the peninsula's southern tip is a 650-kilometre drive from South Australia's capital Adelaide. Home to fishing and tourism businesses, it's one of the most picture-perfect spots in the state. Our journey starts at the fishing capital of Australia, where we join the Isuzu I-Venture Club on a tour aimed at helping Isuzu owners make the most of their four-wheel drives. The tour is led by qualified 4x4 instructors to ensure everyone gets to learn more about their vehicle and doesn't get into too much trouble. Lone Pine Lookout in Lincoln National Park provides a stunning vista across the ocean. Here, the professionals and the guests drop tyre pressures to a low 18 psi to tackle the first tricky terrain of the tour. The driving really gets going on the Sleaford to Wanna four-wheel drive trail, a track that takes in craggy rock faces, sand hills and more of those sensational coastal views. This is a drive that can catch out even experienced off-roaders, so novice drivers might find it best to tackle as part of a small group or with a tour guide to help get out of sticky situations. It's also a route where four-wheel drive low range is essential, and this is where the off-road capable Isuzu D-MAX comes into its own. After a day's driving, it's an hour's run to Coffin Bay to spend an evening sharing stories on the beach. Day 2 in Coffin Bay begins with a leisurely breakfast and a group stroll across Oyster Walk. And a trip to Coffin Bay isn't complete without a visit to an oyster farm. The pristine waters of Coffin Bay are the perfect breeding ground for oysters, and visitors to the small coastal town can wade out into the bay to learn how to shuck oysters for themselves. After getting our fill of oysters, the tour headed into the Coffin Bay National Park for the Sahara-like dunes of Gunya Beach. And once again, four-wheel driving mode was essential for negotiating the terrain. A soft, deep sand that looked more like a moonscape than the South Australian coast. Rounding out the day, a pig roast filled the tummies of the adventurous travellers. For the final day, the group once again headed back into the Coffin Bay National Park. The park has a number of bitumen roads which allow two-wheel drive vehicles to reach some truly beautiful vistas. But it's once again the off-road vehicles that get the best access to unspoilt territory. Tracks marked four-wheel drive only are just that, delivering views that are simply breathtaking to the adventurous few who dare to tackle them. And while it's a bit of a trek through the national park, Coffin Bay's 7-mile beach is well worth the drive. There's some spectacular scenery as well as some challenging and fun off-road opportunities. If you're planning on a first trip through the national park, your first opportunity at sand driving, then I think it's a great idea to join a group trip. That way, if you do find yourself getting into trouble, you've got an experienced hand there to help you out.